Hi, welcome to Mid-American Gardener. I'm your host tonight, substituting for Diane Nolan. My name is David Robson, and I'm a horticulturalist and pesticide specialist with the University of Illinois. Welcome to our show. We have a great show in this half hour. We're going to take your telephone calls. So if you're interested with a question, please call us. In the meantime, we're going to introduce our panelists. They either have a show and tell or an email at this point. Randy, let's start with you.
Hello, my name is Randy Thornton. I'm a general horticulturist associated with Vermilion County, Illinois Master Gardeners. And this evening received an email about Paul is concerned about his homeowners association and chemical applications that they apply to the lawn. He says that the contractor applies it into the beds and everything, which strikes me as a little concern. I think what he needs, he's not been able to grow any annuals or anything like that, and it sounds like the lawn chemicals are getting in because the shrubs are even failing. So he needs to get with the homeowner association. This contractor sounds to me like he's not applying properly. He's getting things where they shouldn't be. So.
And that can definitely cause a lot of problems down the road.
Yep.
Oh, you bet.
Yep.
Well, next to Randy, Kay.
Hi, I'm Kay Carnes. I'm a Champaign County Master Gardener, and my areas of expertise are herbs, vegetables, particularly heirlooms, and seed saving. And of course, most of the viewers probably know by now I do love my heirlooms, and so I brought a few to show tonight. This first one is a summer squash, and it's called Caserta. And you would use it just as you would a zucchini, and this one's about an average size one. This is a cucumber. It's from India, and it's called little potato. And although it looks like a potato on the outside, it is a cucumber on the inside, and they're actually quite good. They've got a little sweetness to them.
Green, like a regular cucumber?
Yes, I have my vines trellised, and they've been producing like crazy this year. This is a bean. It's called a long bean, and there's a number of varieties, and this one happens to be called Thai purple. These are excellent stir-fried and just steamed. So you would almost treat them like you would, and this is a pole bean, so it's also on a trellis, because these will get very, very long. And then, of course, I can't leave out the tomatoes. This tomato is called a green sausage, for obvious reasons, and it is one of the tomatoes that is green when it's ripe. And so you can tell when they get ripe because most green tomatoes will get some yellow on them at some point. This is a great tomato, but it's a little bit tart. So, you know, it's not
juicy or meatier?
It's very meaty.
Okay.
Very meaty. And then I have a similar one. This is the last one that I have. This is called a banana legs, and because it does kind of look like a banana. Now this one will get a little yellower. It's just not quite ripe, and they all have a little appendage on this side. So, well, just a few things for our
Great,
listeners.
Thank you, Kay. Always interesting, and with the heirlooms, you can always find some great flavors, but some interesting produce too.
And the variety.
Mm-hmm. And the variety. The variety is awesome. Plus, you can save the seeds and grow them next year.
Save money that way.
That's right.
Last but not least, to my left, Phil.
I'm Phil Nixon. I'm an extension entomologist with the University of Illinois, which means I'm a bug expert. Insect questions I should be able to answer. And what I want to show as a show and tell tonight are some of the things, some of the real jewels that are real neat bugs that are associated with milkweed at this time of year. And milkweeds may be a variety of things that gardeners will grow. This happens to be the common milkweed syriaca, which is more of a weedy thing, but there are butterfly weeds, bloodflower, swamp milkweeds, which are more attractive as flowers for many gardeners. And the first insect that I have here is the red milkweed beetle, and it has long antennae and bright red color. Practically everything which lives on a milkweed is bright colors, because that's called aposematic coloration. In real language, that means I'm nasty on the inside because I'm eating a nasty plant, and you're going to recognize me well by my bright colors and not eat me. What they do on the milkweed is do the type of damage we see here at the top. They just kind of eat the tips out, because even if you can feed on milkweed, which is filled with alkaloids and cardiac glycosides and things like this that'll stop your heart and all this sort of stuff, is normally they can only eat at the very tip where things aren't quite so nasty up there. There's another beetle that called a milkweed beetle, which is more of a dome shaped, about 3/8 of an inch long, and has a cream color body to it, and with some kind of metallic green striping on it. It's really neat looking. And then what I also have here are milkweed bugs. These are nymphs that are on this florets of milkweed. They also feed on the leaves. These are orange. There's a small milkweed bug that's red. We also have real neat aphids. They are oleander aphids, so we also feed on that plant. Bright yellow with black markings, legs, cornicles. Those are the tailpipes out the back end. Lots of neat stuff. Oh, and then of course there's monarch butterflies, and they're kind of cool too. They're kind of, if you can kind of put up with the produce colors of yellow and black on the larvae stripes, but they're really neat. Lots of nice stuff. There's a tussock moth, which is really cool on it. So lots of nice things that feed on milkweed. Don't harm the plant a whole lot. Enjoy them along with the nice flowers on the milkweed.
And I would say over the years we've seen the population of milkweeds go down, which has then gone into the tussock moths and the monarch butterflies, that population going down as well.
Yeah, the neater we get with our roadsides, mowing them and extending the curbing out to across the right-of-way, the fewer of these weedy things that a lot of insects really rely on are there, and that includes monarch butterflies of milkweeds.
Well, thank you, everybody. Before going to our telephone lines and some calls, we're going to look at our video email of the week. This one comes to us from Hinsdale, and it deals with Japanese maples.
Hi, Mid-America Gardeners. My name is Bruce Adamak from Hinsdale, Illinois, and I'm showing you a picture of the bloodgood Japanese maple in my backyard that failed to leaf out this year. Last year it did suffer severe drought damage, and I'm wondering if maybe that's the problem that it's experiencing. As you can see there, this year it's starting to leaf out along the base and at the crotch of the tree, and it's even getting some new branches down low. When I cut back the branches earlier in the year to possibly remove the tree, I noticed many of them were green. None of them showed the staining that you might expect to see with verticillium wilt. And there are a couple other factors. Last fall, all the leaves on the whole tree got crispy, and that was the first time that we noticed any problem with the tree. And nothing has been able to be grown in the area around it.
Great. Japanese maples do well for me in Springfield.
Don't do well for me in south of Champaign out in the country. In town they don't have any trouble at all with them, but it's marginal plant in this part of the state, and the Hinsdale is just west of Chicago, which means it's exceedingly marginal there. My problem is I get cankers on the branches. These are dark areas that will show up and essentially kills everything above that. Everything above that kind of dies, and I think I saw some evidence of cankers, particularly on the right side of his plant. I would suspect that he's got some cold injury situations going on with that plant.
Probably the same thing with some drought injury, since he said severe drought last year. So he has green growing down below. It's dead up at the top. It looked like the bottom third to a half is alive. Bloodgood, which I thought should be a little bit more redder than it was because it looked really a little bit more green than I thought it should be. So does he start all over again, or do you think he should just prune back to what's live and encourage
Worth a
growth of
try.
that
I
tree?
mean, if he's got his heart set on that particular plant, but I'm a little concerned over the fact that nothing else grows around under it. That causes a little state of concern as well. So I would be checking out that a little bit as well.
Shorter types of Japanese maples will normally shade out anything underneath of them because they have such an umbrella effect associated with their foliage. So that might be just a case of a shade effect, or it could be something else. Absolutely.
Be something in there. Great. Well, if you want to send us your video email, go ahead and send it to us at yourgarden@gmail.com. Good quality. Make sure that you got good sound in there. Maybe we'll air it. Okay. We have some telephone calls. First, let's go to line 2 on moving daylilies. Hello.
Hello. I've got a bed of daylilies that I want to move, and I wonder what would be a good time. Could I move them now, or should I wait till later, or wait till spring?
You could absolutely move them now. I have about way more daylilies in my yard than I care to think about right now. But yeah, daylilies they're extremely hardy, and the only thing I would caution you is you want to do some division on them, pull them apart, and keep them at least a double, triple fan as much as you can. A fan is basically the plant, and if you can't get apart, you can even do a little cutting here and there. You're not going to really harm them. The other thing would be when you put them back in is to trim the leaves back to 12 inches, something like that. Get so that way they don't lose as much moisture with the roots being disturbed. But no, you can move them anywhere from frost to frost almost. So.
And I think that's what they say. Anytime the ground's not frozen,
Yeah.
and give yourself
Yeah. I've
a
moved
couple
them
of
in
weeks.
every-
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I even had put a lot of them in last year in the middle of the drought and never had an issue. In fact, they look really good this year.
One of those hardy plants.
Yep.
Okay, great. Line 3 on peach trees. Hi. Your question on peach trees?
Yes,
Good evening.
Yep.
Go ahead.
pardon?
Go ahead.
Due to strong winds and heavy rain one night, it took the whole top of my beautiful peach tree with all the heavy peaches on it. So now I would like to know when it should be trimmed up to save the tree.
It depends on what you're trying to get out of it. I had a wind come through my place and took off the only part that was the important part of that peach tree, loaded with peaches. It's laying down on the ground. It's still attached. It's still green, and I'm going to leave that there and hope I get some peaches off of it, and then I'm going to worry about pruning it. So that's my reaction: is there are peaches there. Try to get what you can.
I got all the peaches off of it.
Oh, they're early peaches. Mine aren't ripe yet.
Yes, they're beautiful
Well-
and tasty, but it's that stick in the middle just sticking up that's left. But the side ones it's pretty full all around.
Commercially, when they prune peaches, they talk about cutting the leader off at belly button height, and then it grows up from the side. Looks to me like the storm took care of that part for you. And
Yeah.
Randy can tell you how
Yeah.
to prune it right.
Well, yeah. What the old saying was, you got to open the middle of the tree up. They used to always say you ought to be able to throw the peach basket up through the middle of it and not hit anything. So if you trim up that like Phil said, the leader or whatever that broke off, you're probably in pretty good shape.
Prune it down to where you've got some side branches coming off. It should do fine.
And this
What time? When?
When you have a pruner in your hand.
Yeah.
and the pruner is sharp.
Oh,
The saw is sharp.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it.
thank you very
So
much.
anytime between now and this time next year.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for calling, and this has been a great year so far for peaches. The ones that
Wonderful.
I've
All
been
the
seeing.
fruits. I mean,
All
it's
fruits
just-
have been.
it's
Oh,
just
the
incredible.
blackberries. Oh, the plums. Oh, yes. Farmers Market's a great place. Arborvita, line 4 is our next question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple of arborvita evergreens that appear to be covered with little bagworm cocoons, and I was wondering, is there anything I can do about that other than physically plucking all those off?
How tall are the arborvitas first?
They're about probably 8 foot tall.
Okay.
Okay, so with them being that short, hand picking is a good option. You want to make sure you don't drop the caterpillars. Bagworms make individual silk tents and put the foliage on the outside of a bag. You can always tell a live bagworm because the top of a bag is going to be green. And you can pick those off by hand, put them in a bag, throw them in the trash. Don't drop them under the tree. They'll climb right back up the tree. Not a problem to them. Or you can squish them before you drop them. That works. I do that myself. But you can also spray the tree with Bacillus thuringiensis kerstaki. This is a bacterial material which is not toxic to mammals. And that's sold as Dipel, Thuricide, variety of other brand names. That'll do a good job. Spinosad, which is a variety which is available in a lot of containers, pesticides, insecticides will work well as well. So there's a couple options that you can do besides hand picking.
And make sure you always read and follow the directions on the label.
And those bagworms are likely to pupate by the end of the month, so get on it because you're not going to kill them then, and you just have more eggs next year.
All right, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you for calling. We're going to go to one of our special features right now. Did You Know? Stay with us. We'll be right back after this feature. We had a little discussion earlier whether, those are all small fruits, and we had a discussion on native tree fruits, and we all came up with one, and then we checked books, and now we got to figure out what the book means. But there were 2 native fruit trees that we think are native, and we're going to let people hang, and we're going to check them next week. And when I come back next week and sit where Kay's sitting, we'll be able to see, hey, are there 2 native tree fruits to North America? Randy, you have another question.
Yes. Gail sent in an email about has a redbud tree that the leaves are turning yellow and are cupped and somewhat puckered. They are cupped downward on the whole tree, not just a branch. This has happened at least the last 2 years, maybe longer. Planted 7 to 10 years ago. Past it bloomed normally, did not this year, and a couple other things. It gets full sun and good drainage. It did not leaf out as much this year as it has in the past. There's ivy under it. I would appreciate any answers you have. There's several things come to mind, and I don't know, it doesn't state what area she's in or what area. Could be some residual drought damage from last year. Redbuds are very susceptible to herbicides. They're a member of the pea family, and I know I've had issues in my yard. I don't know where she's located, that could be getting some kind of drift or whatever. And then there are, I'm sure, bugs and things that would suck the juice and things that would maybe perhaps make those leaves cup. So there's a few things to explore.
Yeah, I think there's a leafhopper that will do that.
2 of them.
But they, if I remember right, they work at 2 o'clock in the morning, and so it's almost or thereabouts. Okay.
We get potato leaf hoppers that'll cause them to cup, and they're little green jobs. And then we got redbud leaf hoppers, which have transverse bands, a couple of them, really cute guys, and they'll cut the leaves.
But they're hard to find them.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if there were bugs on it.
Yeah,
or not.
good.
You can bet.
You can bet. Kay, your email.
Okay, I have one from a viewer that wants to, they want to start some Brussels sprouts. And they are asking, is it better to start the seed indoors ahead of time and then transplant them, or should seeds be planted directly to the garden? I would recommend starting them inside, and if you do that, you need to really do it right now. I have a few, and they're just, they lost their first set of leaves, and now they're getting their real leaves. So it's a cool weather crop, and so the soil temperature is a little high right now for seeds and for the for the small plants. So I start them inside and start them now.
Great, thank you. And Phil.
I have a caller who, or an email from about spotted wing Drosophila, and really wants to know what about this dreaded Drosophila fly. Has it in their berries and that it likes, and definitely had it in the heritage fall raspberry crop. Spotted wing Drosophila got into this state pretty heavily last year. Kind of showed up in the second half of the season pretty good. It's going to make up for that this year by being around the whole season. They will get into essentially any of your berry crops, raspberries, blackberries, grapes, these sorts of things. Will get into tomatoes as well. And so a variety of different types of berry type crops or juicy type fruits like that. Our best recommendation there is to is sanitation, clean up the fallen fruit, clean up any damaged fruit. Don't leave it in the area to breed more groups of these flies. They tend to attack the fruit before it's completely ripe, and so unfortunately, unlike some other things, if you get on there and pick it right, you're fine. That's not the case with spotted wing Drosophila. You'll find little tiny worms about a 1/16 of an inch long. They're white and they're going to be in the flesh of the fruit. So you'll find them when you're eating them. If you take a bite in.
Protein, right?
Yeah, if you pop the whole berry at once, no big deal. Okay. But at any rate, there's really no sprays that we're recommending associated with that, and it is something which is here to stay. The pictures were showing kind of what the female looks like. The males have one black spot towards the end of each wing, so that's hence the name spotted wing Drosophila.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Well, we have some more phone calls. Let's go to line 5 with the balloon flower. Hello.
I'm calling because while my mother was visiting my sister from Chicago, a flower appeared under her bird feeder.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Sure.
Better.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay. All right, great. My question is about the sentimental blue balloon flower.
Mm-hmm.
We discovered it by accident. It was found under my mother's bird feeder. And I'd like to know, when can we harvest seeds from it? And also on the beautiful, on the internet, I saw another version of it as a multiflora. It goes by a little bit different name, but it's a multiflora. And so I'm wondering, do you know if there's also a grandiflora balloon flower?
I've seen the different short and talls. I haven't seen
different colors.
And then the blue and then the white and
Yeah.
the sort of a purple. Kay, what about the harvesting the seeds as a
Well,
seed saver expert?
They, the seed pods will start out green and fresh, and then normally they dry up and turn brown. And I would take them off just as as they're starting to turn brown and dry. If you wait too long, the seeds are going to fall out of them. But I just harvest them and then let them dry completely. Put them in a pan or something, and then let them dry completely, and then get the seed out of them.
And store them in for the winter?
I store a lot of mine in like pill bottles or coin envelopes and in the refrigerator.
Okay, great, good. Well, we have another question on line 6 dealing with raised beds. Line 6, raised beds. Well,
Hello?
yes, hello. You have a question on raised beds?
Yes, I do. I was thinking about starting some raised beds for vegetable gardening, and I just wanted to know what would be a good mix, the proper mix for that.
Good soil mix.
Well, of course you're going to till up or somehow get rid of the soil or the grass or whatever is covering it and till it. And I would mix in a good compost and fluff it up, and maybe like some grass clippings or something like that.
How deep of a raised bed should a person have?
Well, you don't need, that depends on the person. You can have, a lot of mine are only 4 inches.
Okay.
But it's enough to get things up, especially during wet conditions, and then they drain a little better. Of course, last summer with the drought, it was
Plenty of drainage,
counterproductive.
yes.
But for most years, you don't need them a lot. Now, if it's an issue with bending over, you can get them 6 or 8. However high you feel you want to fill them.
Great.
I go to the Landscape Recycling Center in Urbana and they've got wonderful compost there.
Yeah. Biggest thing is they've got to be well drained.
Yeah.
And
loose.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, we have one last video clip. It's tonight's quiz. Don't go away. Look at the quiz. Think if you know what the answer is. £7, 12 ounces.
I'd
That
love to
was a
get
big tomato. Made a lot of
Big
sauce, a lot of BLTs, a lot of BLTs. Well, we have time for one last quick question. So line 2, Concord grapes, but it needs to be quick.
Hello?
Hi, we have time for a real quick question.
I have 100-year-old Concord grapes, and they have Japanese beetles on them. I'm 87, and my grandfather planted them years ago.
Okay, Phil, Japanese beetles. Grapes.
Japanese beetles are not going to kill the grapes. They will tend to take all the leaves off of them. You can get control with sprays every 2 weeks of Carbaryl Soda 7. Make sure it stays off of flowers, and that should protect them.
What did you say to spray them with?
Carbaryl, which is sold as 7, SEVIN insecticide. Make sure you
SCV-07.
yes,
Yeah.
and make sure you follow label directions on how soon you can have to stop spraying before you can harvest. It's going to be a few days.
Thank you for calling in. Well, that's our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody on the panel, Randy, Kay, and Phil. Join us next week. We have another show, and good gardening, everybody.